Hey, warriors, listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you will expose a truth most people never realize until it's too late. The world does not want you strong. The world does not want you confident. And the world definitely does not want you free. From the moment you start giving, helping, sacrificing, and showing kindness, people quickly learn something dangerous about you. That you can be controlled, that you can be guilt-tripped, that you can be used again and again. And here's the part nobody warns you about. Once they see you as soft, they will keep you soft. Once they see you as obedient, they will keep you obedient. They don't want you to rise. They want you to stay predictable, harmless, and easy to manipulate. I learned this the hard way, through someone I once knew. A friend who was pure, the kind of person who said yes far too often. They gave their time, their energy, their loyalty. Yet the world gave them nothing back. People walked over them, used their silence, took their kindness as a weakness, and every time they trusted someone, that trust came back broken. One day they disappeared for a while. No message, no update, just silence. When they returned, something was different. This wasn't the same soft, fragile person the world used to break. They came back calm, focused, unbothered, like a fire had burned inside them. But instead of destroying them, it sharpened them. They looked at me and said, "I finally understood human nature, and I stopped letting the world control me." That's when I realized Machiavelli was right. Power doesn't belong to the kind. Power belongs to the ones who understand people, to the disciplined, to the strategic, to the ones who refuse to be controlled. And today, I'm going to give you the exact transformations that turned my friend from a target into someone untouchable, not just stronger, ruthless in a disciplined way, focused, sharp, immune to manipulation. This video isn't for the weak. It's for the ones ready to break their old identity and rise into a version of themselves that commands respect without asking for it. Before we continue, drop this affirmation in the comments so your mind locks into the right mode. I rise now. Number 1, stop overgiving your energy. The first transformation you must make is brutally simple. Stop giving your energy to people who drain you. Most people don't realize this, but every time you offer help, attention, kindness, or emotional support, you are handing out pieces of your strength. And when those pieces fall into the hands of the wrong people, they don't protect them, they exploit them. The world is full of individuals who have mastered the art of taking. They know exactly how to smile while draining you dry. They know how to act helpless so you fix their problems. They know how to play innocent so you give them another chance. They know how to guilt-trip you so you stay loyal while they contribute nothing. Every time you give without thinking, you make yourself visible as a source of energy. And the moment someone sees you as a provider, they will keep coming back until there's nothing left to take. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. He taught that generosity is dangerous when used in the wrong direction because it weakens your position and invites parasites. When you overgive, your generosity turns into vulnerability. When you care more than you should, your heart turns into a target. And when you try to save everyone around you, you lose the strength to save yourself. This world is built on a simple truth. People value what they work for, not what they receive for free. That's why the energy you give so easily is often ignored, dismissed, or forgotten. The more you offer, the less they respect you. The more you sacrifice, the less they appreciate you. And the more available you are, the less valuable you become. You must understand that giving is not bad. Helping is not wrong. Kindness is not weakness. But uncontrolled giving is. When you hand out energy without measuring the cost, you turn your own power into a tool others can use. And the people who benefit from your effort will never understand the price you pay to be that supportive, available, and dependable. They will only notice that you are always there, so they assume you will always be there. That is why you must learn to redirect your power. Give to the people who show loyalty, not excuses. Give to the ones who match your efforts, not the ones who drain them. Give to those who build with you, not feed off you. Machiavelli once said, "If you must give, give in a way that strengthens your position." Your energy is not a charity. Your time is not cheap. Your mind is not a playground. Your heart is not a free resource for everyone to use. When you stop overgiving, something powerful happens. You regain control. You become selective, not reactive. You protect your strength instead of wasting it. You stop bleeding for people who wouldn't give you a drop, and when you finally pull your energy back, the world that once drained you collapses without you, because the power was always yours. Drop this affirmation in the comments to lock this lesson into your identity. My energy is gold. Number 2. Transform betrayal into fuel. Every betrayal you've faced carries a message, and the moment you learn to read it, you stop suffering and start rising. Most people collapse when someone lies to them, abandons them, cheats them, or disrespects them. They take betrayal personally as if it is a punishment aimed at their worth. But betrayal is not a punishment. It is information. It reveals who was never loyal. It exposes hidden motives. It uncovers the truth behind smiles. It teaches you what you refuse to see. When someone betrays you, they do not break you. They reveal themselves. And once you understand their nature, you gain an advantage. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. He believed betrayal was inevitable because human beings are driven by self-interest, not promises. Instead of breaking down, he advised leaders to analyze why the disloyalty happened, what pattern it follows, and how to prevent it in the future. This is how you must think too, not emotionally, but strategically. Every insult becomes insight. Every rejection becomes redirection. Every disappointment becomes data. When someone shows you their true face, don't cry. Take notes. Study the timing, the motive, the pattern. Ask yourself, what did they want? What did they hide? What did they hope I wouldn't notice? Their betrayal is not random. It is a blueprint of how people operate when masks fall off. The pain you feel during betrayal is simply your old illusions dying. The trust you gave was given to someone unworthy. The expectations you held were built on a false image. And now that the truth is visible, you have two choices: collapse or convert it into strength. To become ruthless, you must choose conversion. Turn betrayal into fuel. Let the pain sharpen your awareness instead of weakening your spirit. Use the lesson to upgrade your intuition. Strengthen your boundaries. Reinforce your judgment. Stop giving chances to those who already destroyed theirs. When someone betrays you, don't try to repair what they broke. Don't chase. Don't beg. Don't demand closure. Their action gave you all the closure you need. Silence becomes your answer. Distance becomes your shield. Growth becomes your revenge. Machiavelli once said, "Men forget the death of a father sooner than the loss of a fortune," meaning people protect what benefits them. When someone betrays you, they simply chose what they thought would advantage them at that moment. That choice reveals their nature. And once revealed, their influence over you is gone, if you allow it. You must let betrayal transform you into someone who sees clearly, someone who does not repeat the same mistakes. someone who no longer trusts blindly, someone who never hands their power to the unworthy again. When you treat betrayal as education, your mind becomes untouchable. You stop fearing loss, because every loss becomes mastery. You stop fearing disloyal people, because every disloyal person becomes a teacher. And you stop fearing pain, because pain becomes your intelligence. Drop this affirmation in the comments to lock this transformation into your identity. Pain makes me sharper. Number 3, release the need for approval. One of the greatest prisons a person can live in is the fear of what others think. Most people walk through life begging for validation without even realizing it. They adjust their personality, soften their voice, shrink their confidence, and twist themselves into shapes that fit other people's expectations. They apologize for their choices. They explain every move they make. They wait for permission to live. That constant hunger for approval is exactly why they stay controlled. When you need people's acceptance, you automatically hand them the power to shape your decisions. They don't even have to manipulate you directly. Your own insecurity does the work for them. Machiavelli understood that human beings crave recognition so deeply that they willingly weaken themselves just to avoid judgment. But he also taught that power belongs to the one who stops caring about external opinions. Approval is a chain. The moment you drop it, you become dangerous in the best way. You must accept a hard truth. People usually don't understand your intentions, and they rarely care. They are too busy judging from their limited perspective, too absorbed in their own insecurities, too distracted by their own challenges. If you keep explaining your decisions, you give them seats in the theater of your life, even though most of them haven't earned the right to be there. Silence becomes your armor. When you stop explaining, you create mystery. When you stop apologizing, you create authority. When you stop seeking approval, you create freedom. People respect what they don't fully understand, because uncertainty forces them to observe you more carefully, and that observation creates influence. When someone cannot predict you, they cannot control you. When they cannot decode you, they cannot attack you. When they cannot access your motives, they cannot trap you. Most people overtalk, overshare, and over-explain because they fear being misunderstood. But you must learn to embrace being misunderstood. Let people assume, let them guess, let them talk. Their opinion changes nothing about your direction. You must build a mindset where your internal compass is stronger than external noise. Every time you make a choice, ask yourself, is this for me or for their approval? If the answer is for them, you already lost. Your life cannot be led by public opinion. Your goals cannot be shaped by fragile strangers. Your identity cannot be defined by the insecure minds around you. Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." Many misread this, but the true meaning is simple. Independence is more valuable than approval. Once you stop needing acceptance, you stop fearing disappointment. Once you stop waiting for permission, you stop giving others control. Once you stop chasing validation, you start attracting respect. Make decisions without announcing them. Move without broadcasting your plans. Build without seeking applause. Your silence becomes a statement. Your discipline becomes a message. Your presence becomes enough. And the moment you release the need for approval, you step into the version of yourself that intimidates insecurity and inspires strength. Drop this affirmation in the comments so your mind remembers who you are becoming. I validate myself. Number 4, detachment as control. Detachment is not coldness, it is command. The moment you detach, you stop reacting to everything and everyone around you. Most people stay trapped in emotional chaos because they cling too tightly to outcomes, people, expectations, and fantasies. They want things to go a certain way. They chase approval. They hold on to relationships long after they've expired, and they attach their peace to circumstances they cannot control. This attachment makes them predictable. It makes them weak. It makes them easy to manipulate. When someone knows you are emotionally tied to an outcome, they can steer your behavior with very little effort. When they sense you fear losing them, they adjust their tone and you bend. When they see you crave a response, they delay it and watch you unravel. When they notice your happiness depends on external stability, they create instability to dominate you. Machiavelli understood that power belongs to the one who is harder to influence, not the one who is outwardly aggressive. Detachment is the discipline of stepping back internally, even if you remain present externally. It means nothing owns your mind. Nothing commands your emotional state. Nothing dictates your actions but your strategy. When you detach, you observe instead of chase. You respond instead of react. You stay calm when others expect panic. You stay silent when others expect explanation. You remain still when others expect chaos. That stillness creates fear in manipulators because they cannot decode you. They lose their advantage. They cannot pull your strings because you have none. Detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop sacrificing your internal balance for anything outside of your control. You learn to appreciate people without depending on them. You learn to pursue goals without collapsing if the path changes. You learn to enjoy moments without clinging to them. You learn to stand on your own center, steady and unmoved. The world respects the individual who is calm under pressure because calmness signals power. Chaos belongs to those who lack control. Serenity belongs to those who command themselves. Machiavelli once said, "Men are driven by two forces, love and fear. If you control fear, you control the game." Detachment places you outside the emotional battlefield where most people lose their strength. You no longer get provoked easily. You no longer fall into traps. You no longer give enemies the reactions they want. Your absence becomes a message. Your distance becomes authority. Your calm becomes influence. When someone cannot shake you, they cannot rule you. When someone cannot read you, they cannot use you. And when someone cannot break you, they start respecting you. Detachment is not about abandoning connection. It's about refusing to be owned by anything or anyone. The person who holds their emotions steady becomes untouchable. The person who stands firm without attachment becomes unbreakable. The person who walks away when necessary becomes unforgettable. Drop this affirmation in the comments to anchor this mindset. I stay unshaken. Number 5. Boundaries as power shields. Boundaries are not walls, they are weapons. Without them, you become open territory, easy to invade, easy to drain, easy to disrespect. Most people fear setting boundaries because they worry others will call them selfish, difficult, or harsh. But the truth is simple. People only complain about your boundaries when your lack of boundaries once benefited them. The moment you protect your energy, the parasites panic. The users get frustrated. The manipulators get exposed. Boundaries show people exactly where your power begins and where their influence ends. They are not cruelty, they are clarity. When you set a firm limit, you're telling the world, "This is my line. Cross it, and you lose access." Machiavelli understood that discipline must be enforced or it disappears. He believed that the strongest leaders were those who made their expectations unmistakably clear and refused to compromise them for comfort. You must think the same way. Every time you say no, you sharpen your authority. Every time you deny access to someone who drains you, you reclaim your strength. Every time you limit who enters your inner space, you increase your power. Without boundaries, your life becomes chaos, because people will always take more than they should. They will ask for just a little help, then return with bigger demands. They will push just a small favor, then treat it like an obligation. They will test your patience gradually, then act surprised when you finally snap. This happens because you trained them to believe your resources come with no cost. Boundaries break that illusion. They teach others that your time has value, your presence has weight, and your energy has limits. You must understand something critical. Boundaries are not about controlling others. They are about controlling yourself. You cannot stop people from trying to take advantage of you, but you can stop giving them the opportunity. You cannot force respect, but you can withdraw access until respect is shown. You cannot prevent manipulation attempts, but you can refuse to participate in them. Boundaries protect your mental clarity. They protect your emotional strength. They protect your peace. And peace is a form of power most people never learn to defend. Machiavelli once said, "He who is respected is rarely challenged." Respect is not earned through kindness, it is earned through firmness. When you hold your ground, people adjust. When you stay consistent, people understand you are not movable. When you enforce consequences, people treat you differently. Those who respect your limits will stay. Those who refuse will fade. And that is exactly how you filter your environment without lifting a finger. Boundaries attract the right people and expose the wrong ones. Your life becomes lighter. Your focus becomes sharper. Your circle becomes stronger. Your confidence becomes louder. A person with boundaries becomes untouchable because their energy is guarded by discipline. When you protect your space, you protect your future. When you protect your standards, you protect your identity. When you protect your energy, you protect your power. Drop this affirmation in the comments to seal this transformation into your mindset. My boundaries stand. Number 6. Master strategic silence. Silence is one of the most underestimated powers a person can develop, yet it is one of the most effective tools for control, influence, and protection. Most people talk too much. They reveal their plans, their emotions, their weaknesses, and their intentions without realizing that every word they speak hands someone else an advantage. Silence changes the entire balance of power because it removes your predictability. When you speak less, people cannot trace your motives. They cannot calculate your next move. They cannot use your openness against you. Strategic silence forces others to reveal themselves while you remain unreadable. In any interaction, the one who talks more exposes more, while the one who listens gains more. Manipulators, liars, and opportunists rely on your reactions to guide their strategies. If they cannot provoke you into speaking, they lose control. They start guessing, and guesswork creates mistakes. When you hold silence after someone insults you, they panic because they cannot tell whether they affected you. When you stay quiet while others seek attention, they grow insecure because they crave your response and cannot get it. When you speak only when necessary, your words gain weight because scarcity creates value. Machiavelli understood the power of unpredictability, and he aligned silence with strength. He believed that revealing too much makes you vulnerable, while revealing nothing makes you dangerous. Strategic silence does not mean you are passive. It means you communicate through action rather than noise. You observe the dynamics in a room. You listen for tone shifts. You catch hidden agendas. You allow others to expose their true nature. Silence becomes surveillance. It becomes a shield. It becomes a weapon. Most people feel uncomfortable during silence, so they rush to fill the gap with explanations, confessions, or justifications. You must never be that person. You must learn to sit comfortably in the quiet, because the one who remains calm during silence is the one who holds dominance. People respect the individual who does not rush to answer. They respect the one who speaks calmly and sparingly. They respect the one who does not crumble under pressure. Your silence should not be empty. It should be intentional. Hold it when dealing with confrontation. Hold it when facing manipulation. Hold it when someone tries to pull information from you. Hold it when someone wants a reaction they do not deserve. Let silence become your test. Those who respect your quiet reveal maturity. Those who grow angry or insecure reveal their instability. Machiavelli once said, "Never reveal all of yourself, for men judge more from appearances than realities." Silence protects your depths. It ensures nobody has the blueprint of your thinking. It grants you time to assess, reflect, and interpret before choosing your response. When you master strategic silence, you no longer speak to be understood. You speak to be effective. You choose your words as carefully as a swordsman chooses his strikes. And because you speak less, every sentence hits harder. You become someone whose presence is loud even when your voice is quiet. Someone who commands attention without requesting it. Someone who influences through calm, control, and mystery. Drop this affirmation in the comments to solidify this lesson in your identity. My silence leads. Number 7. Loyalty is conditional, not blind. Loyalty is powerful, but blind loyalty is a trap designed to keep you obedient while others take advantage of your commitment. Most people grow up believing that loyalty means staying no matter what, sacrificing without limits, and proving devotion even when the other side stops deserving it. That belief is exactly why so many individuals end up betrayed, abandoned, or drained. Loyalty without evaluation turns you into an easy target for users, manipulators, and opportunists who rely on your consistency while offering none of their own. You must understand that true loyalty is earned, not demanded. It is built on mutual respect, not emotional obligation. It must always be conditional, tied to behavior, not promises. When someone stops matching your loyalty must stop following them. Machiavelli understood that alliances should always be strategic, not sentimental. He believed that loyalty tied to emotion blinds judgment, while loyalty tied to advantage strengthens power. You must adopt this mindset. Every person in your life should be evaluated based on their actions, their reliability, their intentions, and their consistency. If they support you only when it benefits them, they are not loyal. They are opportunists waiting for the next advantage. If they disappear during your challenges, they are not loyal. They are spectators who only enjoy your victories. If they expect devotion while giving nothing, they are not loyal. They are parasites disguised as companions. Conditional loyalty protects you from these traps. It teaches you to give commitment only to those who have shown dedication through behavior, not words. It prevents you from attaching to people who carry hidden agendas. It ensures that your inner circle is built on strength rather than pity or fear. When you make loyalty conditional, something powerful happens. People start respecting you more. They stop taking your presence for granted. They no longer assume you will tolerate disrespect. They understand that access to you comes with responsibility, and that responsibility filters out the weak, the fake, and the disloyal. Some will accuse you of being cold, detached, or strategic, but those accusations usually come from individuals who benefited from your blind loyalty. They liked you better when you were predictable. They liked you better when you were easy to mislead. They liked you better when you didn't question their motives. But you cannot live your life catering to those who want to control you. You must protect yourself with intelligent loyalty. You must invest only where the return is clear. You must remain committed only to those who value your commitment. Machiavelli once said, "Men are loyal until it is dangerous to be so." This means people will stay devoted only as long as it costs them nothing. The moment loyalty requires effort or sacrifice, their true nature becomes visible. That truth should guide your decisions. Never give more loyalty than someone has proven they can handle. Never tie your future to someone who shows no interest in maintaining their place in it. Never protect someone who would never protect you. Standing by someone who cannot stand by you is not loyalty, it is self-destruction. You owe your loyalty first to your principles, then to your goals, then to the people who consistently honor both. Everyone else remains temporary. Drop this affirmation in the comments to lock this mindset deeply into your identity. My loyalty is earned. Number 8. Become untouchable. Becoming untouchable is not about intimidation, cruelty, or pretending to be emotionless. It is about building such internal strength that nothing external has the power to break your balance, shake your judgment, or steal your focus. Most people crumble because their stability depends on people, circumstances, and situations they cannot control. One insult ruins their day. One betrayal destroys their confidence. One setback makes them question their worth. One rejection makes them abandon their direction. Untouchable individuals operate on a different frequency. Their center is built from discipline, not from approval. Their strength grows from challenges, not comfort. Their identity is shaped by self-mastery, not by validation. When you become untouchable, you no longer respond to emotional pressure. You no longer adapt your behavior to please others. You no longer lose control when chaos hits. You stand still while others collapse. You stay calm while others panic. You move with intention while others react impulsively. Machiavelli understood that real power comes from the ability to remain unaffected by instability. He believed rulers who stayed steady during chaos were stronger than armies, because emotional control is the sharpest weapon a person can carry. You must adopt that same level of self-command. Becoming untouchable means you stop allowing betrayal to weaken you. Instead, you study it. You take lessons from every disappointment. You analyze every pattern. You treat every wound as information, not injury. Nothing becomes personal. Everything becomes data. Emotional attacks fail because you do not attach your value to anyone's treatment of you. You elevate above the noise. Becoming untouchable means you stop expecting fairness from the world. You understand that life hits without warning, people change without explanation, and outcomes shift without permission. But you remain stable because you no longer seek comfort in things you do not control. Your focus stays locked on your strategy. Your discipline becomes your shield. Your self-respect becomes your anchor. Untouchable individuals know how to walk away without drama. They do not beg for closure. They do not argue for attention. They do not chase people who choose to leave. Their silence becomes a message louder than anger. Their distance becomes a statement stronger than confrontation. Their presence becomes respected because it is not given lightly. Machiavelli once said, "He who masters his own nature will master the nature of others." When you discipline your impulses, people sense it. When you remain calm under pressure, people adjust their behavior around you. When you do not react emotionally, manipulators lose interest because your stability ruins their influence. Becoming untouchable means you choose yourself every time. You reject guilt traps. You refuse emotional manipulation. You protect your mind from negativity. You guard your energy like a fortress. You sharpen your mentality daily. You remind yourself that power is not domination. It is detachment from anything that tries to reduce your strength. You stop letting temporary emotions decide permanent actions. You stop comparing yourself to anyone. You stop explaining your direction. You trust your judgment because you've paid the price to develop it. When people realize they cannot control you, they start respecting you. When life notices you are unshakable, it stops breaking you. When you finally reach the level where your peace is unbreakable, you become someone no chaos can dominate. Drop this affirmation in the comments to seal the transformation. I am untouchable. And now that you've reached the end, understand something clearly. None of this means anything unless you act. Watching powerful ideas without applying them is like sharpening a sword you never pick up. The world doesn't reward the one who understands. It rewards the one who executes. You've just walked through 8 psychologically ruthless upgrades that can rebuild your mind into a weapon, if you allow them to. Most people will walk out of a video like this feeling motivated for 20 minutes, then go back to the same emotional patterns, the same weak responses, the same predictable behavior that keeps them trapped in a life controlled by others. But you're not here to stay predictable. You're not here to stay ordinary. You're here because a part of you is tired of being manipulated, tired of being emotionally hijacked, tired of losing power in moments where you should be unstoppable. That part of you, the darker, sharper, more instinctive part, is the part you need to feed from this moment forward. Machiavelli understood a truth most people are too afraid to admit. The world bends for the person who refuses to bend first. When you master your mind, when you strip away weakness, when you no longer react but instead calculate, you stop being a participant and become an architect. Your life stops being accidental and becomes intentional. Your presence stops being soft and becomes undeniable, and every decision you make starts carving out a future that others are forced to respect. So take what you learned here and use it without hesitation. Apply one principle today, another tomorrow, and keep stacking these psychological edits until you no longer recognize the older version of yourself, the one who hesitated, feared judgment, and apologized for wanting power. That version is gone. You're stepping into a mind built on clarity, strategy, and inner domination. Walk forward with a cold focus and a calm fire. The world belongs to those who command themselves first. Go become untouchable.